Today is July 18th, and I don't know what time it is, and it doesn't matter. Sorry about that, but I got a low pressure and there's so much humidity in my bedroom it could be raining. But I'm going to talk today about abuse, mental abuse, because it's the worst kind, and it's the one that women endure the most and tolerate the most and promote the most, because they do it themselves. They raise men and encourage them in their abuse and their violence. That's what my Russian grandmother did. My Ukrainian grandfather didn't, but once he died, she pushed and encouraged my father to beat up on his sisters and to beat up on us, and my mother and me, and I mean, just unbelievable. And it's common. But I want to stay on track today, so I've typed it up and I'm going to read it, because I'm in severe tumor pain. The tumor is causing severe nerve pain, and it's growing, and it's cutting off circulation, and it's damaging my nerves, and this is not something that any diet's going to cure. It will kill me. And at 83, I don't have a lot of time left, and my research is finished. I'm done. But I'm going to talk about abuse, because what you do to the children, they grow up to become abusers. Or, like me, they fight back, and when they can't fight, they flee. And today I am fleeing. I'm cutting people off that are bullying me. I left the mold groups. I'm leaving all the groups that are bullying. It keeps me up at night and I can't sleep. And I'm lucky now to get 5 minutes where I get any joy or any pleasure. And I spend what time I can online with people sick, even though I can't cure them. They are allergic to okra, but I just talk to them and try to help them make a sane decision as best they can and find a way out of the abuse. And if possible, reverse their brain damage and their autoimmune disorder, or at least control it. But I'm not taking any more bull from people attacking me, because I won't do what they want me to do. I won't donate because they want me to. I won't read more doctors' bullshit research because they want me to. I'm done. Now, abuse doesn't always show like a wart on your nose. From 1971 to 1978, a man by the name of Fred Winstanley held me in a grip of psychotic abuse so profound. He didn't work, and I supported him for 7 years, and I paid for him to go to a shrink, which was all part of his sick game. And in 1978, a very famous man in Toronto, Eloy Yost, God bless him, he worked across the street from me, and we started meeting for coffee because I was always early. I was in a lot of pain, so I would get up at least 2 hours, which I still do, ahead of whatever I need to do. In fact, now it's 3 and 4 hours, but in my working day, I didn't have much choice. So coffee, from the age of 6 years old to today, gets me to my feet. And it's not a cure, but I do whatever works. Anyway, he was the TV host of TVO in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Saturday night at the movies. And as our friendship grew, One day over coffee, he said to me, "Trudi," and he took my hands. And it almost brings me to tears to think of it. Because you know what? Elizabeth Taylor did the same thing in 1964. It isn't that people didn't care about me. It's just that my family and doctors and friends didn't. And he said, "I want you to promise me you will trust me and do as I say. You get rid of that man. He is playing a sick game on you. You can force him out of your home, get him a job in South Africa, and before he gets back, you move. And you sell that house." Because I wasn't making any money on it. It was just draining me. That's another story. Anyway, I did exactly that. I went back to the office and I called David Kassir, a friend of mine, who had an agency, and he booked Fred in South Africa. Because Fred was a international licensed industrial engineer. Why was I supporting him and he didn't work a day in 7 years? That's how brainwashing does to you. That's what my mother and the women did to me. I had the opportunity of a career of a lifetime. A Jewish man wanted me to be the first woman stockbroker in North America. $55,000 a year in 1964, and I turned it down because my mother talked me out of it. Women were not supposed to be that successful. I just watched a movie of 1975, Mahogany. In 75, I loved it. Yesterday, it brought me to tears. Because she did what I did. She gave up her career. Because she wanted to be loved. That's how dumb we are. Well, dumb is the wrong word, but brainwashed. And I'm not even going to go into what the religions are doing to the women. Don't even get me started on that one. And those damn Christian conservatives. Up yours. Anyway, I did. I booked him on a plane. And when he got home, I said, "You're taking that job or your clothes are on the street." He was in such shock. I drove him to the airport, and that was it. And I called my management at the art shop, and I said, "I won't be in today because I'm getting rid of both my house and Fred." All he said, "Good for you." Yeah, 1978. But it didn't end there. Because I didn't get the help that I needed. No, I didn't go on to a good life. I went from one abusive relationship to finally working for abusive men until the last one and held me hostage and tortured me violently, brutally tortured. And my brain went into a blackout, and I didn't know what he was doing to me. I can't explain that, but some people do know what I'm talking about. Your conscious mind just blocks, and it goes into your subconscious. And when you come out of he drugged me, of course, and when you come to, you know you're injured, you're bleeding from both the vagina and the anus. And every time a taxi driver saw me, blood dripping down my legs, took me to the hospital. This female witch doctor, yeah, a woman, She assumed that it was consensual. She recognized I had been anally raped front and back. I didn't know. I had no conscious memory. Did she even think to ask me anything? No. She threw me out. I crawled on my hands and knees. University Avenue. And you know what? A millionaire had a chauffeur stop and pick me up, and he took me home and he took care of me. But he couldn't get me well. It was too late. I left and I took a cab home and I got in my car and I tried to drive off a cliff. Anyway, all that's in my autobiography. But I did not get well. And then suddenly, I couldn't read or write. Well, what is this stupid computer? Okay, sorry about that, people. Anyway, I don't like to complain and whine a lot. I try to find even 5 minutes joy in a day, if you can. But this kind of abuse, you have to be the one to stop it. Because nobody can do it but you. Even when they try. Because you see, you don't get it. You have to take hold of your life. And it's okay to be successful. And it's okay to be rich. And it's okay to be talented. And it's okay to be handicapped. And it's okay to be sick. Except if you're sick, you've got to figure out why and do something about it. Take an action. Fight back. But don't tolerate it. If it's family, cut them off for life. I was 19 years old when my fiance told me, Trudi, get out of here and don't ever come back. Joe Fabro, the mayor of Sudbury, told me the same thing when I was 17 years old. And I didn't understand. I just didn't understand. And I was registered as a genius in some levels, but I simply was so brain damaged I didn't understand. I didn't know what to do. But this bullying online is so sick and so cruel. I didn't sleep all last night. And that's not the first time. And my life here is too short. I'm not doing this no more. I am blocking these people. Some of them I love dearly. Some of them have helped me with my research. But I can't mentally take their attitude that it's okay to bully me. It's not okay. Well, I lived for years in a blackout. I never knew what happened to me. But I kept trying, and I kept fighting back. And strangers tried to help me. Anyway, I escaped the physical violence temporarily until my mother manipulated me and made me go back. Go back to Sudbury, go back to the abuse, go back to my father. Yeah. The real help I got eventually was in adult children of alcoholics from Sister Bonnie. It took me till I was 76. She got a hold of me in 1985. But I didn't get it. I couldn't leave my mother. And I just went through 18 years of more abuse. But I'm still here. And I'm still helping anyone I can. And tragically, there are diseases that are allergic to okra. Okra is the miracle that has reversed brain damage from mold and toxic chemicals and sulfur dioxide and heavy metals and you name it. But there are people who have developed a disease and they're allergic to it. And I have no solution for them. But I spend time with them, just letting them know that I love them and I care. But no, I won't take any more abuse. So last but not least, all night long, my tumor is so bad, it's gone way up into my groin. Sharp like a knife. Cutting into me like a sword, like this, all night long. That's okay. I have a high pain tolerance. Eventually it'll just kill me and that'll be the end of it, and that's fine. But I'm done. I'm not spending any more sleepless nights in flashback nightmares because some people think it's okay to attack me at 83-year-old woman. And I've decided I've suffered enough. I'm not taking no more. I'm no longer going to research diets from doctors because every time I do, I get suckered into adding into my diet something that actually sets me back 30 years. Yes. 5 years ago. Yes. I won't mention the doctor's name because he personally replied to my request for detox for diseases that were allergic to okra, mast cell, and heavy metal poisoning. And despite okra having these miraculous healing powers, there are many who can't even try it. They go into convulsions or anaphylactic. And I put kale into my diet 5 years ago because of what he said. It's superfood. And it systematically was poisoning me and set me back 30 years. Imagine. And then from there, I got mold poison in 2021 from organic imported prunes from India. We're getting spiders from Brazil that will kill you one bite in 9 days. We're getting diseases from China because they're so filthy with those stupid wet markets. They've been doing that for 1,000 years. At least India, the Hindus don't do that. You know, they're very clean. But they've still got the plague in India because of, don't even get me started on the wars and the bombing and what we're doing to our atmosphere. But I can't control any of that. But what I can control is I can stop people who are bullying me. And I delete them and cut them off. Even though some of them help me. But when they turn on me like that, that's it. I will pray for you, but I'm done. I don't have the mental strength to tolerate these bullying attacks. I know these people are sick. But that's no excuse to attack me. I didn't cause your situation. I didn't cause your disease. Get off my back. It makes them feel good to just go after somebody. That's not okay. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much abuse you are. That's not acceptable behavior. And every time Dad does it to me, he gets it tenfold back. Yes, he does that. He was abused as a child. And he just lashes out into fits of rage. It's almost 40 years later, and now he gets scared, so after half an hour of doing it, he spends 3 days trying to make up to me. But I would leave him if I could, honestly. I did many times. I didn't talk to him for 12 years one time. But it's either Dan or a nursing home, and I'm going to die in a nursing home. And there are people I'm still able to help. So as long as I can help somebody, it makes my life worthwhile. I have nothing to look forward to. I can't windsail. I can't canoe anymore. I can't swim anymore. Our lakes are polluted. Oh, gee, I wish I could turn off these emails. Anyway, I can't dance anymore. I'm too crippled. Even if it wasn't for the pandemic, I can't dance. I used to dance in my bedroom. Can't even do that. I got 5 minutes on the swings today, and that gave me 5 minutes of happiness. And I'm grateful. I have dear friends whose political views, loving Trump, make me so sick. I feel like throwing up every time I see their comments. That's really painful. I don't understand their insanity. I really don't. But I have to block those comments, and I have to delete those posts, and I have to get rid of them because they make me sick, and I pray for them. I have dear friends who don't believe me who've got lung damage from COVID. And instead of trying diet and exercise, okay, it takes a lot of work and it's slower. So instead they've gone to a doctor and got allergy drugs. And I know that's going to destroy their immune system slowly. And eventually, it'll kill them. But I don't bully them, do I? And they're anti-vax. I don't bully them. I delete their comments, and I pray for them. I've devoted my life to saving children. I took care of a schizophrenic child, 7 years old, until she was 10. I was 12, and I looked after her till I was 15. And I love her still. Judy Jenkins, you have my heart. Every day of my life, I think of you. And I did everything I could for those children with no help, because nobody cared. And women raped. I went into rape crisis centers all over Toronto. I took prostitutes off the street in Vancouver. And men poisoned. I fought for our workers and the military and the firemen and get the unions to demand safer gas mask equipment and stop their being poisoned, dying from brain damage and or cancer. My work saved Dan. That's right. He got a test. Because of the work I did, the union sent up doctors from the United States and got him tested. He would have died in 1994. I'm proud of what I've done. all those millions of workers and firemen and military, they don't know that I got them those gas mask equipments. That's okay. All I cared about making sure they got the help they needed. I didn't need the publicity. I didn't want to be famous, and I didn't want to make any money off it. And I shared everything I knew with doctors. And you know what they did? They turned it into products. And they became hawking salesmen for products instead of saving lives. And they got rich. And they got famous. Did I try to put a patent on what I know? No. Because I'm against doing that. It's against my spiritual and moral belief. That's wrong. But I'm done. I'm not going to tolerate any more bullying. Yes, okra will reverse brain damage on strokes, chemical poisoning, mold, and too long a list. And it saved the life of a young autistic child. Because it turned out he wasn't autistic. He had my disease, so he had trouble functioning. And he couldn't concentrate. And he had, anyway, 8 years old, he gave me a big hug. And he said, Trudy, when I grow up, I'm going to be a doctor and I'm going to save people like you. And then I turned to his mother and I said, if there's any way that your husband can get a job out of this town, please leave. Because Sudbury is the most abusive sewer hole on the planet. Well, that's not true, but that's certainly true of Canada. For too many reasons I won't go into. Little villages like Capriol and St. Charles and not Chelmsford. I had a lot of abuse in Chelmsford. But there are good villages around. But Sudbury is sick, sick, sick. Can't even get organic food here anymore. It's all been discontinued. Even Walmart had a huge supply for 25 years of organic food. All gone. There is no one diet that will reverse disease. Everyone is different. I won't tolerate the veganism cults that attack anyone who eats meat. I won't tolerate racism, fascism, homophobia, or any religion created by humans that is abusive to women and children, and that takes in them all. So I don't tolerate religions. I don't believe in them. I pray to the creator of the universe. I always take my mind off this planet because it is so sick. Sick, sick, sick. And I'm done. Not one of the people who bullied me ever bothered to read my autobiography. And they know next to nothing about my research into diets for disease control. Since the age of 7, 1948, the head librarian assisted me, a child, into the adult library to research. And I researched all the diets going back as far as 5,000 years. The Hindu, the Muslim, and too long a list. And all had some benefits, which I list in my website, but not one reversed the brain damage like I did. So I'm done. You can look it all up. And this is way too long, but that's okay. I'm doing this for me. And God help the children. For I was blessed. The children saved my life. And they encouraged me to keep going on. And they made my life worth living. Over and out.